My name is Caroline, and I am a Go Girl. I got introduced to Go Girls by a friend sending me their name. That was when we were still teaching out of the church on College Avenue, and that was kind of where the office was at that point. And my friend walked by and saw the sign, and it was under the umbrella organization Glitter and Raz. So it had this like stars icon and rainbow or whatever. She was like, "This is the perfect place for you to teach, Caroline." And so I sent in all of my information. I didn't have a ton of teaching experience at that point.
When was that?
It was 2010. So I'd done just a little bit of teaching at that point, but knew I wanted to do more. And I was really happy when I got to actually work for Go Girls.
Mm-hmm.
How I kind of eased into my work with Go Girls, because I started just sending my information, and then we had our audition, right? So our interview process was like a group audition, which we still do. And it was so much fun. So immediately I was bought into kind of the playing and the facilitation and the expressive arts that we got to experience during that was really fabulous as well. So kind of started out with that gentle play, and then I got to be an assistant teacher for a summer and just basically watch and lead a few things. I had a background in dance, so maybe I led a song or a dance here. And then the next summer was when I actually started being a lead teacher, getting into the real vortex of what happens at camp. And I would say that there's a similar structure to the playmaking process, where you come in on the first day, and in drama class you're just playing a little bit, playing with place and location, and getting to know you, theater games and everything. And there's that kind of gentle, playful lead in, and then before you know it, we have written collaboratively a whole play together and are in the middle of rehearsal and production. And then, the tone at camp even shifts a little bit, like it does in a real production, where you're like, we went from like table talk and improvisations to everybody, learning about what it is to really put together a production, and the kind of rigorous nature of that.
Yeah.
And I think I really love that about camp, that as a performer, being at camp and leading camp mimics the professional theater process from beginning to end. And I, even that like postmortem kind of like thing afterwards, where we worked so hard and did the show and celebrated with the parents, and everyone was so proud, and then everyone goes away really quickly. It always feels too fast to me because I become so invested in the girls in such a short period of time, that it feels strange to have to say goodbye so quickly. I've seen over and over again girls come to camp who are really shy about the playmaking process and really shy about having to choose a character or just be involved in drama class. And I think that's actually one of the huge benefits of this program as opposed to maybe another, theater program, is that there's so many ways for girls to ease into the work, and there's so much support. Like there's so many, and they don't have to be the star of the play. Like everyone is the star of the play to the extent that they can be or want to be, so
they have a choice.
Have a choice about how big their role is in some ways, and that has to do with how enthusiastic they are and committed and kind of diligent about wanting to learn lines and all of that, which is sometimes related to theatrical experience or just their excitement level, I think. But I've seen many girls come in and I've even had campers who, on a few days into camp, their parents call in the morning and say, I don't think they're going to come back to camp. It's just not their thing. And once I talk to them a little bit, I find out that there's usually underneath it just a true nervousness around the playmaking process, but a desire to be there. And sometimes for those kids, I think it's most important to have this experience because they have that much pent up emotion and kind of fear and anxiety around being in front of a group of people as themselves and just speaking. And I relate to those kids, and particularly feel drawn to mentor or support them because I was such a shy child. And so I relate to that process of really wanting and needing to perform and also being really terrified. I would like to share a proud teaching moment, which was when I was teaching dance, and the theme was kind of world dance. And I basically taught a little bit of all of the kinds of dance that I've studied. So it was like a taster course. And a lot of it was very, like a little bit improvisational, like learning a move and then getting to do it for a good 8-16 counts, and really feel it. And I was proud of the staging and what we created together. And then afterwards, I had a parent come up to me and say how much her daughter loved doing this dance, and she wanted more dance like this because she said her daughter could be herself while she was doing these dances, because she had gone to ballet class, and it was like, I've taken ballet. So many of us have taken ballet, and there's a sense of right and wrong that's very well defined in that form. And this parent was just saying how much her daughter enjoyed being in a dance class where the emphasis was on finding her own expression and way of moving her body. And I think that's just what you were saying before about meeting people where they're at and individualized expression as opposed to having to, get someone to play a certain role or move a certain way, just a chance to push their own sense of self as opposed to fitting a mold. Yeah, it's very rhythmic, and they're planned really well. I think mainly Allison has over the years developed this schedule that really follows the rhythm of a kid's day. So we begin with a little bit of expressive arts. So there's time to come in and either work on projects they're already working on or draw, color in their names. Very easy, like get to know you art project. So when kids come in the morning, there's music playing and there's art going on. And there are a lot of our girls leadership team, like our teenage helpers who are there basically playing with the girls and introducing them to the day. And then we have a big community circle. And during community circle, we always share what's going to happen today, what the girls can look forward to, and then often do a playful learning of an social emotional kind of lesson, a little morsel. So playing, acting out different ways to deal with big emotions, or learn how to, communication tools for camp and for making a play. We try to tie it into how those skills will be useful in making a play. And of course, we as adults know those skills are also useful all the time. And then we move on to either expressive arts or drama, get a little break, time outside, switch. I'm doing it the way we do it in camp.
Yeah.
Switch. And then we have in the afternoon a rehearsal. So sometime during the day that we always devote to working on putting the play together, and then end in a circle of celebrations. And we always celebrate our day and listen to the girls celebrate what it is that most stood out for them as well that day. And then sometimes we have a little dance party until the parents get there.
Hello.
Families come. Yeah. That's how I'd like to end every day. It's really huge. I feel that every year when we begin the season or when we go into the training, I realize how much I need Go Girls as a fully grown woman. And I think it really, for me, centers on self-acceptance and having a voice. Like that train has a voice.
Like that train.
I think we are all Go Girls. Whether that name kind of applies, the name doesn't appeal to every woman, right? But like, I think we're all. So I know many Go women, and I think the qualities that I see in my friends and family that I associate with Go Girlhood are persistence and adaptation. So I think you can't have persistence without adaptation, because you can persist in the same little hole or rut and not really get anywhere. And I think particularly around women who are artists, actually, because I have a lot of friends who are artists and who have a particular vision for themselves and their life and what they want to offer the world. And then they get to a certain point and they realize all of the challenges that come along with that work, whether they're financial or creative or whatever it is, personal, And I think the Go Girl mentality has taught me to really appreciate self-acceptance and just accepting wherever you are and communicating well about it. So these are like human values, right? But I feel particularly impassioned about working with women around these issues because of a kind of cultural overlay of shoulds for women about behavior or appearance or different cultural aspects that I see. So.
Yeah.